Denver 8 TV, your city, your source.
Art is bringing order out of chaos.
In the public art collection in the city and county of Denver, we have around 300 pieces of art, but that includes works of art that predate the public art program. Mayor Pena was the one that started the public art program. We have an ordinance that dictates that if a construction project in the city is over $1 million, then we set aside 1% of the construction budget for public art at that site. And we have installed with that program around 175 works of art. So there's a lot of monuments and older works of art that are included in our collection, and we maintain all of them.
And so, in a sense, all of us are called to be artists with our own lives, and we are called to bring order out of the chaos of our lives at times and give it purpose and direction and value, and that is what art does.
We have a guide that we publish every few years that includes all of our collection. We have from bronze sculptures of firefighters outside of the Stapleton Fire Department to the dancers outside of the Denver Performing Arts Complex, which are two large, white, very abstracted human figures, and they're dancing. We have the Lawrence Argent's I See What You Mean, which is also known as the Big Blue Bear outside of the Convention Center, which has become an icon for the city and a real favorite for people. It's a meeting place, it's a place that people remember when they come to Denver. They photograph it, and I've had a German tourist come up to me as I was walking down 14th Street and say, "We're looking for the Blue Bear, where is it?" And I just said, "Just a little bit further and you'll see it, you can't miss it." Another piece that is really popular in our collection is The Yearling by Donald Lipsky, which has a spotted horse atop a giant red chair, which is sort of an upside down view of this story, The Yearling. Denver's actually becoming a little known for some of its more whimsical pieces. I'm sitting on top of one of my favorite sculptures, which is this integrated piece by Robert Tully outside of the Children's Museum. You might come across it and look at it as a group of rocks. If you look at the head, all of a sudden you see this giant rock turns into a snake, or it turns into a fish or a turtle. And that's the magic of public art. Depending on your perception of it and depending on your experience with it, it changes. It might change every time you see it, which is exciting, and I think it creates it's a wonderful thing to have in the public sphere. There's a couple of bas-relief bronzes at the Blair Caldwell Research Library that are just gorgeous and just awe-inspiring. They're huge on the side of the building. The public art definitely spans from murals and mosaics and smaller works of art all the way up to the larger pieces that tend to get a little more attention.
It's not so important to put a label on something. What's important is to develop your eye at looking at details. There's the old saying, listen to learn and learn to listen. Well, in art, it is learn to look and look to learn.
Our public art is selected in an open and competitive process. We think it's important that we create a selection committee that includes members of the community where the art will be placed, whether it be somebody who works, lives, or has a business in the area where the artwork will be sited. And then we also include artists and arts representatives on that selection panels. Their goal is to select a unique work of art that's very specific to that site.
Public art, as we all know, is inseparable from public controversy. Anyone want to guess what's the most controversial work right now?
It's the horse at the end.
It's the horse.
Of course, in every public art collection across the country, every city has its controversial pieces, and we have a couple. We've had some controversy surrounding Luis Jimenez's Mustang, which is at the Denver International Airport. All the discussion on it has been welcome, and we've taken it in, and I think that what's really important, though, is that people also understand the point of view of the artist. I think once people learn a little bit more about it, they're usually at least kind of see it in a different light.
Hello, you have reached the Denver Office of Cultural Affairs Public Art Phonecast.
We have, in the last few years, instituted a phone cast system, and you can call up and you can hear interviews with artists who created the pieces. For instance, you can hear an interview with Lawrence Argent about the Blue Bear, you can hear an interview with Jonathan Borofsky about the dancers, or Luis Jimenez's widow about the Mustang. So I encourage people to go out and seek out this information because it's fascinating.
And by going on a tour of art and architecture, some of our ways of looking at the world get challenged, and we can expand our own vision of what life in the world is all about.
We are offering public art tours of the Civic Center Park. All of our public art tours are led by docents that are volunteering their time. We also offer tours of the Denver Performing Arts Complex, which includes the Ellie Caulkins Opera House and the artwork inside there, as well as some of the pieces that are in the Galleria and the Borofskis that are out on the lawn there. And then we also have a tour of the Convention Center, which has a number of major works of art inside there, including the Blue Bear, which is outside. The public art program is valuable to the city in that it creates more habitable and livable spaces. So often the city becomes built up and it's a lot of concrete, a lot of steel, and the artwork and the parks, I think, together create this sort of livable, more habitable city. And we just really hope that people get out to go and see these pieces, because some of them are deliberately hidden and some of them are right there in plain view. So we just hope that people can get out and enjoy the collection and see the artist's vision.
Denver 8 TV, your city, your source.